Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Bronte. This is gonna be November's recap. Can't believe it's actually today is the 1st of December, so yeah, wow, nearly the end of the year. Can't believe it. So yeah, this week we were able to move into our 2025 Hobonichi Weeks books. If you watched my last YouTube video about my 2025 lineup, you will have seen me talk about this guy. It's here. I've moved in and I'm really pleased, so I'll show you some stuff in here, and then we'll go back to the weeks that I've been using, you know, this year, or for the most part of this year, I guess. Or no, not even the most part, just like this year, yeah. I have my journal in here, my Hobonichi cousin, and then I thought instead of looking at the planner, we could look at my new commonplace book, because this is a bit more interesting, I think. So yeah, let's see, what should we do first? I think we should do the weeks, because I always seem to go for the weeks first. So this is my 2024 weeks, and this one is my 2025. The 2025 is the Harvest Plaid. I really was hoping not to put a clear cover on this, actually, when it arrived. I did order the Io Okumi because this is very me, and the yarn, excuse me, I am a knitter, work in a knitting shop, if you're new to the channel. So this is kind of like it was made for me. The mitten, oh, so good. And I love this cover, but I just think on the Harvest Plaid it's just a little bit lost. So I don't know. I will obviously be keeping this and I'll use it in future years. Maybe next year I should get a solid cover weeks. Yeah, I'm already thinking about 2026. I don't know if anybody else is as neurotic as me, but I am already thinking about 2026. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so I have just the clear weeks cover on this for now, because I think it shows off the stickers nicely. Yeah, okay, so the weeks that we were in for the majority of this year. So I started this one actually when I could, end of November, beginning of December as well. So I guess the weeks just won't have December's filled out, which I'm okay with, because it's in a different book. I suppose I could copy the information, but never mind. Okay, so the 1st of November was a Friday. I think I might have showed you this spread last month, but here we are. We have got a really nice full Halloween themed spread. This week I used these little faded chronicle dot stickers as bullet points, and I think that really is nice. And I carried it through to the following week as well, actually. This week I did a little currently reading list, and then like a very small review of Master of Salt and Bones by Kerry Lake, and just talking about some books I added to my Kindle from Kindle Unlimited. The following week there's a book review, and then just a note about something I started reading because I couldn't fit it onto this day. I started reading a book on this Friday, but I couldn't fit, so I drew this line, and I really like how that looks. This spread didn't fill up as much as I thought it might, but that was fine, because I added this extra sticker, this extra flower, and this ribbon were added in after the week ended. I don't always do that, but I don't know, I wanted to fill this up. This is kind of an empty week, but I love the deco I did with this Hours Studio tape. And yeah, the main thing for this week was that I went to the Hobonichi Techo meeting caravan, hosted by some of the members of the Hobonichi team here in London. And this was a little kind of certificate almost for participating, which was really fun. And they had a special stamp that we could use. I went on the Sunday and accidentally stamped on the Saturday. I don't know what my brain was doing. I think I was a bit too excited. Anyway, there's no book review this week. I don't know if I finished something this week or not, but instead I wrote about my 2025 reading journal, which the thoughts have been resolved. This is last week. I think there is something I can add here. I honestly haven't referenced this because I kind of moved into the new book, so I think these two spreads probably need a little bit adding to them. But yeah. And then this is the current week. 1st of December is Sunday. I did have this spread decorated, and then I pulled up all of the stickers to put into this book because I really liked them and I didn't want to not use them. So then I just wrote a bit of a thing about saying this is the first week I can use my 2025 reading journal. Somebody else I saw on Instagram had done this, being like, this is the week my new book starts or something. I don't know, I thought it was nice, so yeah. And then that's it for this book. So I'm not ready to archive it just yet, but I will at some point. This is very well loved weeks. Yeah. Very chunky. As a regular week, standard weeks goes, I think it's pretty chunky. Because I covered, you know, I like to come across the spine a lot with my deco, and I think that makes the book really chunky. But yeah, okay, so that's the weeks for the 2024 weeks. So now we're doing 2025 pages in here. So I haven't done anything to the monthlies yet. I don't know if I'm going to use them because I totally dropped off using them this year in my 2024 book. So this is the spread for this week. I finished a book the other night, so I wrote a review about that. I only gave it 3 stars because I felt like the story was fine. It wasn't great. It was very predictable, which is okay, but I don't know. Anyway, and actually yesterday I bought some books, so I will write that in, because Waterstones were doing double plus points for Black Friday weekend, so it would have been rude not to get anything. And then, oh, here are some notes just about Sylvia Plath's journals, which I'll talk about in the commonplace. And then this will be the following week. I've decorated loads of spreads in here because I was on a roll the other day, I guess. Yeah. And then I've used some of these Planner Monkey Co. highlight tab minis in the crisp autumn colorway, just to tab off where the weeklies start and then where the notes pages start and the My 100, and then this check off list, which I want to use somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it, but I've never had an English edition, so this is not in the Japanese editions, I believe. So yeah. And then what else was in here that I was, oh, I think I want to make use of this favorites spread because it seems to make a lot of sense for books. So how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So there's space for 14 books. So I think this would be a good place to do favorites of the year. Or maybe I should do like 1 a month and then favorite of the year at the end, or 2 favorites of the year. Kind of like a bit of a like race to see who is the absolute favorite, maybe. Anyway, I can work that out at a later date, I suppose. So that's the weeks. Okay, so let's look at the cousin next, because I feel like maybe some of you will be not so interested in the commonplace and you can just skip the end of the video. That's totally fine. So I don't know if I had my Christmassy cover last month. Maybe I did, I don't remember. Anyway, okay. So I think in my last video I did the first few pages of November, but here's that cover page. And then, yeah, this was kind of the end of the Halloween decoration with a few nice days I spent with my boyfriend and our friends, and then a day where we had our journal meetup, and I went to Choosing Keeping with my friend PJ, who is the journaling potato, and I got these amazing cat stickers, and that's the envelope for them because it seemed wrong to throw this envelope away. Then let's have a think what happened. So the first full week of November I did an apple theme, and I think it turned out really nicely. I just love this ink so much. This is Ablation Olive from Ablation Papers and Press, I think they're called. I bought it from their stand at Stationery Fest in New York. And yeah, I just think the green looks really good with the apples. I think somehow it even added to the apple theme. Also this month was the proper kind of start, I suppose, or like the, I don't know, continuation. Basically, I have been each week pulling out extra stickers to add into little gaps in my spreads. So for example, here, these things, the smiley faces were all added afterwards, and yeah, this little bit here, I added this collage in because I just didn't have enough to say for that day and wanted to fill a little gap, which I don't often do, but anyway, yeah, I did it. So this Friday my Hemlock and Oak planner arrived, and I'm still super excited about that. And I suppose, yeah, you'll be seeing it in videos in the new year, because that doesn't start until the new year. But yeah, I'm still really excited, and I had a lot to say about the planner. So yeah, I knitted a little knitted hood over this weekend, and used this Malabrigo Chunky in this colour VAA, I don't know what it's called. But I've always wanted to knit with this wool. We have it at work, and I think I just needed something really quick, and it was great for that. There was a TCMC shop update this day, so here's my shopping list of what I got. I think this order is arriving tomorrow. And then we did a big roast on this day, so I used the sticker from our loose parsnips that we bought. I added that in, and it matched the theme really cute, like the colour of the sticker and everything. So then this next week I was writing with Diamine Ancient Copper, but in actual fact I don't think it wrote properly until like the end of the week. This is more what it should look like here. It just was, for some reason, I think maybe there was still some water in the kind of inside the inner workings of my fountain pen, and I just was really impatient about filling my pen. I do that quite often. I just like really just want to write with the new ink. So that's not good practice, I suppose, but anyway. It looks like this Monday I was productive, and yeah, I'm not going to read all of this there. So this day I re-inked some of my pens. Tuesday my a Killer Views order arrived because she was doing a birthday sale, so I ordered some little bits from her, and she put a lovely note in, so I added that, obviously. Here's some notes about my reading journal thoughts, and then okay, so here I made a list of some nice things for the day, because I don't know, sometimes it's difficult to think about, if you've had a hard day, like what has been good out of the bad day, if that makes sense. But yeah, I try and do that because I think it's important to remember that it's not all bad. So yeah, that's what I have done there, and then a tiny little journaling entry at the bottom. On this Thursday, I had a really lovely Happy Mail parcel arrive from my friend from Instagram, who is Melting Distance Journals, and she sent me some lovely washi tapes, which are the new Wonder Pens 2.0 Coffee Monsters collab tapes, and she sent me samples of those, so they're swatched here. Oh look, here's another instance of me using up some space. Yeah, I guess I didn't have much to journal about this day. Oh, this was a nice Friday. I went to Soester and Grun with my friend and her little boy, and it was really fun to go to a shop full of Christmas things with a 4-year-old. He had so much fun and it was really sweet, and I got a few bits for the flat, and I got some washi tapes and stuff for myself, and yeah, it was really nice. Saturday, PJ came round and we got a little Deliveroo and had a really cozy journaling day, and I used these Paper Bits bears. I thought it was kind of like the two of us sat across the table from each other. Yeah. And then unfortunately the ink from the stamp on the next page has kind of bled through and somehow like changed the colour of the Uni Jetstream, like the biro pen. I don't know what's happened there. It must be an oil-based ink. Anyway, oh, I see in my journal entry that I was starting to listen to a new podcast, which I'm really enjoying. It's called The Consult. I only tend to listen to true crime podcasts because, I don't know, that's the sort of thing I like to listen to. Yeah, non-fiction podcasts are really good, and I tend to like ones that are like kind of story based, but The Consult is not story based. Anyway, yeah. So on the Sunday was the Hobonichi meeting caravan, and this was the other stamp that they had done for the caravan. It feels kind of, yeah, some ink is definitely coming off. It's just like really oily ink, I think. But yeah, I stamped the big one in my cousin and then the small one in my Weeks. But it was such a lovely morning. And then in the afternoon, my mum and dad came to visit, which was so nice. And I collected this ginkgo leaf when we were out with my mum and dad, and yeah, taped that to the back of this name label from the Hobonichi caravan. So I think then this week we're going to go into now is my favourite decoration for the whole of November. I used this lovely kind of, can't remember what she calls this. It's like a whole sheet of sticker paper from the Giving Girl that you rip up. I have a referral code for the Giving Girl in my description, or in the description of the video. And if it's your first order with her, you get 20% off. I just really recommend her shop. She's like the only US based sticker shop I order from. Somebody asked me about this on my previous video, and thank you to the person who asked, because I feel like it was a really good question. And she asked me about like, this is a total tangent by the way, but she asked me about like costs of shipping. If you are in the UK or like Europe, the Giving Girl sends everything with like stamps, like literal peel off, like, you know, like first class whatever stamps, which makes it really affordable to order from her, because a lot of US sticker shops do not do that, and then the shipping to the UK is like £16 for like sticker letter mail, which is just really expensive. So yeah, the Giving Girl does not do that, which is why she's probably, I think, the only US based shop I order from. And then the other shops that I like in North America are all Canadian. So Paper Bits Co., Planner Monkey Co., and the Coffee Monsters Co., they are all in Canada, and that shipping is also affordable. I think it's probably to do with Canada Post versus USPS. Anyway, that was a tangent, but here we go. yeah, basically don't let the shipping costs put you off from ordering from The Giving Girl or like Coffee Monsters Co, because it's actually not that bad. It's a little more than like, obviously, like letter mail would be inside the UK, but it's not that bad. Okay, so yes, I have the Giving Girl tape, or like sticker, rippable sticker sheet here, and then the pet tape I used is an Hours Studio one called Life of Cats, I believe, and I'm definitely going to order a full roll. I had a sample from Miso paper that I was hoarding for ages, and I'm trying not to hoard things, so I just decided to use it. And the ink I wrote with is KWZ Honey, which was a new purchase for me. I bought that I think in October sometime, maybe, when I went to the pen show. Yes, pen show, question mark. Pen show. I bought KWZ in Honey, and I really liked it. It's very similar to Diamine Sepia, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend having both. I have both because I just really love the colour. The Honey is a bit darker than the Sepia, I think. I'm gonna tell myself that's the case. Yeah, it's just a touch more brown. I wrote with the Sepia this week, and then I don't even know if you'll be able to see that. The Sepia is a bit brighter. Anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of fun with this Life of Cats tape. I just love all these little furniture items. I think it's really beautifully like thought of. On this Tuesday, I finished reading Hunger Stone by Kat Dunn. I'm obsessed with it. You'll see in my commonplace, I'm obsessed with this book. This Wednesday, some Happy Mail arrived from Alex Thomas Creative and Colour Cafe. I got the patch on my cover from Colour Cafe. I think it's sold out, but hopefully she restocks it because it's so cute. And I think it looks great on the brownie plaid. Here I wrote a whole diatribe about Ali Hazelwood because I was reading Not in Love and absolutely loving it. So yeah, I got these cute labels to put on Christmas presents, but I had to use one here to write about Not in Love. I added this big Giving Girl sticker to fill up a little gap because I had a movie night by myself, and this was from the Have a Movie Night sticker sheet, so it was pretty perfect. Oh, also putting this T-Pigs tag in here made me think I want to do next year, or for 2025, I want to do a collection of all of the tags off of all of the tea that I drink. Like people collect fruit stickers. I don't know if you've seen people do that, but I saw someone on Instagram who had, in like the back of a notebook or something, every time she has a piece of fruit, she like puts the sticker in the back. And I don't eat enough fresh fruit, so I would love to do that, but I just don't eat enough fresh fruit because I prefer vegetables. But yes, I thought I drink quite a lot of kind of fruity teas, so I thought I might save all of the tags from all of my cups of tea and see how many there are by the end of the year. We'll see. I might do that in my Hours Studio brick notes, or part of my Hours Studio brick notes. This was the day my Harvest Plaid weeks arrived. I peeled the stickers off of the packaging to put in here for the weeks and the Beautiful Season clear cover. I wrote about Not in Love because I finished it that day. And then, oh, this was a day where, here I wrote Major Hyperfocus Day. This was the day I started my commonplace book, like in earnest. And then I also copied down here some a Kindle reading challenge that I want to do, which was by Spicy Cats Reads on Instagram. But I think she does have a YouTube channel. I just don't know what the YouTube is. But yeah, okay. Then there's quite a contrast between this week and, this decoration and this decoration. I was trying to use all Giving Girl stickers for November, but I fell off of it this last week because I had decorated these pages and then one day I looked at them and I was like, I hate it. So I just feel like I didn't do my best work. So I peeled everything up and started again. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out in the end. I wrote with Troublemaker Sea Glass, which I have as a sample, and it's in my Extra Fine Sailor Pro Slim. Somebody on Instagram said to me that, or like in a comment said that they thought the sea glass ink was very dry, and I totally agree. Like the Troublemaker inks I think are very dry. So it writes quite like light, which is nice. I think it works really well for this week, but yeah. So I think here I wrote that I was filling the page up with notes I made on Tuesday evening, but I'm now writing early on Thursday morning. So I actually woke up early on Thursday, which I never do. I'm always super tired and never want to get out of bed. But Tuesday, yeah, I was really focused on my commonplace, so I didn't write anything in here. I just made notes on some scrap paper to copy in later. Sometimes I do that. I'll write on a sticky note some like points of the day and then copy them in afterwards. I have done it before where I did it sometime at the end of July, where I just didn't copy the notes in. Here, I wrote on sticky notes for like 3 days, and I just never have copied them in because I don't know, somehow it felt a bit it got like to like a week after, and I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna leave the sticky notes. Because this was only a few days, I decided to fill it up, and I had the time. Oh, also a Sticky Club order arrived on this day, which was nice. I had this like irrational fear that it had gotten lost in the mail, but it hadn't, so that's good. Then yeah, this Wednesday was super busy, so I filled the rest of the page with some ideas for my 2025 journal practice. And that's when I wrote about collecting tags off of tea bags. That I was struggling to read my writing. It says I would love to do more drawing. Then here I was writing about maintaining a list of things I want to add to my common planner, like filling, adding things every couple of weeks, or like crossing things out, you know. And then there's this tiny gap here which really annoys me, but I was hoping, I've tagged this here at the side so you can see it on the edge of the page with like a reference dot for these dots, like this one means it's a reference list. So I was hoping to add to this. Maybe I should have a think about that today. So I think that this Thursday I was super busy at work, and I was writing about how achy I was because it was really cold and I had been really busy all day. And then, okay, so then this was Friday. I did a Black Friday order with Coffee Monsters Co. Been rude not to. And then I wrote a really big journaling entry. I don't even know what I wrote. I tend not to read things back. I just kind of dump things out of my brain onto paper, and then like I don't need to look at it again. But what did I write? Oh, I was thinking about Black Friday. I think I was like getting FOMO, and then also like reminding myself I don't need to buy things. But I did order from Coffee Monsters Co. and I did order from Paper Bits Co. Those are the two shops I shopped with on Black Friday. Yeah, and then yesterday we did lots of errands and we did some cleaning, which we really needed to do. And I got some books at Waterstones, which I've just written here. And then we had a movie night. We got pizza and we watched Layer Cake, which is one of my boyfriend's favourite films. It's like a super... If you've never seen Layer Cake, it's like the film that got Daniel Craig his role as James Bond. He's great in it, and it's from 2004. He looks really young, and it's just like a really good English, like kind of gangster film. But it was apparently, according to my boyfriend who works in film, it was done on a really low budget. And to say that it was done on such a low budget, like it's such a great film. Anyway, yes. And then, oh my goodness, that brings us to today, which is the 1st of December. So here's my December cover page, and I have this coming week decorated, which is not festive in any way. And I was just looking at it this morning thinking, Bronte, why didn't you do something a little more festive? Anyway, I have this coming week decorated, and then 2 weeks that are not decorated, and then the week of Christmas I have decorated, because I really wanted to use this sticker sheet I got from Sticky, and I intended to use this for my Christmas decoration, and I'm really pleased because I think it's so cute. This is Christmas Day. I'm really pleased. And for December I'm trying to do a mix of like cute and vintage type things, cute and collage, and I think this is like a really good example of the sort of thing I'm trying to go for. I think it turned out really sweet, and I used up the whole sticker sheet from Sticky, which is satisfying. So I'm not sure what I'll do for the next couple of weeks. I need to have a think about that. I was going to do it yesterday and then I just wasn't in the zone. So yeah, I might use a Coffee Monsters washi tape with some more kind of vintagey, collagey type stickers. We'll see what I can make work. I think I've learned my lesson with the week I pulled everything up, because like for not decorating super ahead of time, somehow that it's like I do it and then I go off it somehow. Anyway, okay, that's all of that stuff. Okay, I'm just gonna have some water and then we'll talk about the Commonplace book. Okay, here we are, my Commonplace. This is a Stalogy A5. It's the special Yoseka green colour, which I am really happy that I bought when we were in America. In the front I have this little Hobonichi pocket with some star stickers, and stuck on top is my running list of things to add to this book. I've got a Megan Rhiannon sticker and a smiley face. And then in the front is knitting stuff, which was in my previous video, so I'm not really going to cover that. And then I have all of my copied out quotes from Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. So I got this book as an advanced reader's copy. The publisher actually reached out to me to send it to me, but I think I managed to get onto their list because I know Kat Dunn very slightly. So yeah, I think she did a story asking who would like to be put on a list for like physical advanced readers copies, and I was like, oh, me please. And I think because we kind of have met each other a few times, she gave my name to the publisher. Anyway, it was amazing that I got one. I'm so happy. It's my first like physical advanced readers copy. And yeah, I loved it so much that there was loads of beautiful writing, and I just wanted to copy all the quotes out, so I did. And it's so satisfying to see them all. And this Stalogy paper, like I'm touching it again now and I absolutely love it. It's a little, just a slightly more textured than the Tomoe River paper. And as you can probably hear, it goes really crinkly and it's so satisfying. So for these notes, let's look at a blank page, or like a page with no stickers. I drew a margin in pencil, which is 8 grid squares wide, and the notes that I've written sideways are notes. So instead of writing a note like underneath the quotes, I've put the notes in the margins, so it's much easier for me to see what my notes are, I suppose. This just made sense to me. I think this method of note-taking is maybe called like the Cornell method or something. Like you have like information and then notes at the side, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't made notes about every single quote, but some of the ones, some things really jumped out at me in particular, so I just wanted to make notes. And I was on a real roll when I was copying this stuff out on, I think it was on a Sunday evening. So I then got onto kind of writing about like notes on each of the 3 main characters and like ideas about the kind of, not the plot, but like kind of the I don't know what to even say. Like, just basically, like, Hungerstone is a retelling of Carmilla, which is, if you're not familiar, a really old vampire story that predates Dracula. And Hungerstone is a kind of loose retelling of Carmilla, with one of the characters in Hungerstone being Carmilla. And Carmilla is a vampire, but in Hungerstone we don't necessarily see her as like a true vampire, or like a vampire we would see in the traditional sense, which is kind of what I was writing about here. So yeah, I don't know, I just had thoughts and I had a lot of fun writing this in here. So yeah, I don't know, I am obviously like I'm no scholar, so like this was just fun for me to do, and I would like to do this with more books in the future. I have 2 on my list to do this with. One is actually Kat Dunn's other Bitter Thorn by Kat Dunn is more of a YA, but I read that last year and I absolutely loved it, so I want to go through and annotate and kind of copy out quotes from my copy of that. And then yesterday, one of the books I bought was An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, which is now out in paperback. I got that as an advanced reader's copy and I have the hardback, but I wanted a paperback again to like annotate and go through, which ironically that is also a retelling of Carmilla, but it's a very, very different retelling of Carmilla, and it's also amazing. So I don't know, something about the Carmilla story clearly like really captivates me. So then next I just wrote some notes on my 2025 TBR on this nice paper from Tide Fates. And then this is the Kindle reading challenge I mentioned. So these are all the books, kind of the genres you're supposed to read, like a book with witches, a book with a sapphic romance, book with mermaids. And then I have got my picks here. This is supposed to be like a Kindle challenge, but I have some of these in paperback that I would like to incorporate into the challenge, so that's what I'm gonna do. Then we've got just like a little collage page, which is just clippings from a magazine that, I don't know, I wanted somehow to work these in and it ended up that they just looked nice all together, so I just made a little mood board. Then I've got some home inspiration, some interiors inspiration from Country Living magazine, which is what these are from. But yeah, I don't know, I like this, I think it looks cute. It's nice to kind of paste in things that are like magazines, it's not just a sticker, I guess. Okay, and then I got really hyper focused on this, which was copying in my favorite quotes from Letters Home by Sylvia Plath. It's not by Sylvia Plath, it's a collection of all of the letters she wrote to her mother, and I just really love it. I love her letters, I think that, and her journals. That's what I'm especially interested in with Sylvia Plath. So yeah, Letters Home, my very battered copy of Letters Home came out, and I copied out lots of quotes. I was supposed to stick this article in on these 2 pages, but I accidentally skipped these pages, so I've just broken up the Letters Home quotes with this article, which is about animals that live in the hedgerows of Britain, and I think it's really cute. I was saying to my Patreon subscribers that sometimes I forget hedgehogs exist, and then when I remember, I'm just like, oh, hedgehogs, like, they're just, how are they real? They're so cute. And then yeah, more quotes from Letters Home, and that comes all the way to here. And then I kind of broke the page up here by making notes about a kind of a reading practice called Florilegium, which I discovered, oops, sorry, that's my iPad. I discovered this by listening to a podcast, or like a podcast I used to listen to, that was done, it was kind of like about reading fiction books in like using a sacred reading practice. So the podcast was done by 2 Harvard divinity scholars, or 2 graduates, sorry, of Harvard Divinity School. And yeah, the book was about, the podcast, sorry, was about Harry Potter. It's called Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, and like they acknowledge that J.K. Rowling is trash. But anyway, yeah, it's about kind of reading books as sacred. And actually one of the people who does that podcast, she has written a book about doing that with Jane Eyre, which I'm really interested to, I would like to read that. I think it sounds really interesting. Anyway, they introduced me to this Florilegium, which is about kind of, it did say it's an offshoot of commonplacing tradition, and it's kind of like commonplacing but specifically for quotes. And the people who did the podcast used to kind of reference it in terms of like copying out all of your favorite quotes makes a new text for you to gain meaning from, which I thought was really interesting. And yeah, I guess doing all of this copying out reminded me about this, and so I wanted a proper definition for it, and I looked it up. And then there was a word that was used here, centennia, which I didn't know what that meant, so I looked that up, and then the definition is here. Then I got down a rabbit hole and was looking at an article about Virginia Woolf and her notebooks. So yeah, I really liked some of the things I read, so I wrote those down. Even though I've never really gotten along with Virginia Woolf, but Sylvia Plath loved Virginia Woolf. There's a quote in her journals somewhere about Virginia Woolf's writing making hers possible, basically. Being like, I don't know, that kind of Virginia Woolf's style paved the way for Sylvia Plath. I don't know. Anyway, so I wrote some stuff about that, and then I've started copying out quotes from the journals of Sylvia Plath. And I have a lot to get through, so I've only done these 3 pages so far, but this is my copy of Sylvia Plath's journals. I have this edition edited by Karenville Kukill, which this is the 2001 edition. 2001 edition. And I went through and tabbed all of the things I had underlined. I skipped the don't judge me, but I skipped the parts of her journals where she's at Smith because I'm just not as interested in that period of her life. Sorry, Sylvia. But I am more interested in the point at which she went to Cambridge. So yeah, I kind of skip ahead to where she started being in the UK, which interests me a little more. And then the big chunk at the back that I haven't used is all, or like haven't tagged, is all the appendices and yeah, all of the appendices. I don't know if I've read these very much because it's a lot. It's a lot. And then there's loads of notes and an index. So anyway, yes, I gave my little sticky notes a key. And every time I copy something out, I'm moving the tab to the top or the bottom, so I know where I've gotten up to. But I think I might have to separate these general quotes out more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna separate them more when I am copying out, if that makes sense. Anyway, that was a big tangent as well. Okay, I think I'm gonna say goodbye because I think this video is plenty long enough, and it's Sunday, so this video is supposed to be up tonight. I don't think it will be, so apologies for that. But probably, hopefully on Monday, which is tomorrow, 2nd of December. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for listening to me ramble, and I hope to see you again soon. I would like to do a video about more in-depth about my weeks, and I had another idea that I wrote down and I forget it already, but yeah. thank you everybody. I'm really grateful for you wanting to watch my videos, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.